Attention is the purest but rarest form of generosity. In your marriage, you must have ever experienced such a moment. One minute you were feeling like a significant person for your partner, the next you feel invisible. Once you feel invisible, it is very easy to perceive yourself as an unimportant person. Something may have taken your place, or something may have distracted your partner from you, and now you may not be able to experience the same thing in a way which you did once. This is very likely to result in a massive emotional disconnection in the marriage. Thus, it is necessary to think about how you contribute this and what will, or will not, probably come up. Most likely, the problem will become unsettling or even terrifying, and you may try to ride the waves expecting that the water can settle at a low point for you to safely reach the shore. At times, you have to let go of a certain relationship issue, as making such a decision is incredibly hard at that time, but it may also open you up to a happier and more fulfilling life. However, in order to paddle back to the shore, ensure what you are doing is beneficial for fostering a meaningful and healthy connection. Therefore, you need to dive into those relationship issues a little deeper. If you still have a genuine relationship with him and both of you connect each other as usual, but you just feel that there exist some uncertain oscillations and you may lose your partner, you may read the following tips. 1. Awareness. Actually, your partner always keeps connection with you in his ways, but you may not notice and acknowledge them. Therefore, you should let him know that you have already been aware of those ways that he or she tries to connect. And this can be of great help to your relationship. 2. Small kind acts. Generosity can create much happiness in married life. In order to be attuned to what gets your man excited, learning to be generous with him is essential. Being generous is also not an expensive price tag, and the purpose of doing so is to let him know you really do the thinking for him. Generosity acts as a mood booster which brings the closeness and good feelings to a relationship. 3. Foster security in your relationship. Sometimes, when dealing with your marriage issues, you may focus too inward. Have you ever asked yourself the questions, like what am I avoiding? What is wrong with me? And why can my needs not be met quite well? Failing to hear opinions from your partner's perspective can result in a lot of marriage challenges, such as lack of empathy, and communication breakdowns. As opposed to focusing on yourself, you should learn to love in an outward direction, that is to say, make your man a priority instead of an option. 4. Ask him rather than depend on assumptions. Making assumptions can easily get couples into trouble. When the relationship is on the rocks, you may have got accustomed to making various assumptions about the development of things, and if you choose to deal with the relationship by assuming that you know what he or she is feeling or thinking, you will be bound to face more possible marriage risks due to disconnection, detachment, or a missed opportunity. Therefore, it is very necessary to learn how to ask him questions in a proper manner. 5. Receptivity. You must know the importance of being aware, but being aware without being receptive to reconnection is also unhealthy and even counterproductive. Over time, such a relationship is also very likely to roll toward the edge of precipice. 6. Appreciation. Appreciation plays a key role in reinforcing your attempts to foster the connection and get close with your partner. So you should learn to provide him with positive validation and reinforcement, and acknowledge things that he or she may intend to do for you. 7. Be present and involved. If and when you are not present or distracted, you are apt to push away your partner's attempts to connect with you. Although it just feels like you pushed your partner away at that moment, in fact you also lose future connection with him or her. Surely, you should also try to understand why he or she is not present sometimes. Meanwhile, tell him how this may impact the relationship. 8. Reciprocity. No need to wait for a perfect time or moment to do something for your partner, just do it as long as you feel it. Giving attention to your partner is very helpful to nurture your relationship. This thing does not need to be saved for one perfect moment. 9. Be vulnerable with your partner. Many people are lack of a willingness to be vulnerable with their partners, and probably so are you. Being willing to show your feelings and being vulnerable with your partner in his or her presence may be exceedingly difficult for you, but when it is received in a proper way, it can develop into a happy connecting and trust-building experience. Surely, it can be instinctual to put up your protective barrier when feeling threatened. But you are encouraged to practice being resilient to stay open, because being vulnerable allows each other to experience joy and love on a deeper level. Instead, if you just protect yourself by surrendering your fears, probably you will end up with loneliness and disconnection. Inner work. This is associated with doing some hard work. Sometimes you may constantly seek ways to fix your partner or make your partner suitable for what you need or who you two are, when instead you should learn to focus inward, separate what is your own stuff and your own inner workings. Don't dwell on what does not work in your marriage, and you should be more concerned about what is right. A lot of marriage ended because couples hyper-focus on those related negatives. Try to pay more attention to how you feel, behave, and respond within your relationship, and learn to understand how he or she perceives you, instead of what things are definitely wrong for the marriage. Surely, not all marriage relationships can be restored, and marriage relationships vary from person to person. However, it is rash and irresponsible to end the relationship without trying your best to repair it, even though you do it when your partner wants out. Trying to save the marriage is also worth the potential risk and worth diving into. During the process, not only will you learn to foster a meaningful and healthy relationship, but also you will achieve significant self-growth and self-development. Thank you for watching. For more free marriage-saving tips, you may click the link below to go on watching.